Hello! In the last video, I went over the basics of sketching, and today I'm going to tell you about extruding, as well as other neat CAD hacks. First, let's extrude the cube. The extrude tool is right to the sketch button. Now, instead of selecting a plane like for a sketch, select what will be extruded. We're just going to extrude the cube. Since the extrude is blind, we can just enter 2. So our die is a cube. As for the other modes of end types you'll use in the future, they're pretty self-explanatory. So the ones that say like up to part means you can select a separate part for the extrude. Once the extrude reaches the other object, it'll stop. Also, right now we're extruding a solid, but if you want to extrude, let's say a line, you would just pick surface. But we don't really do that often, but sometimes you might. Let's click that check mark to save the changes. We'll also fillet the edges to round them out. Just select the edge you want to fillet. You can select each individual edge, the faces, or just select the entire shape. If you want the edge to be more rounded out, increase the radius, and vice versa. Now let's make a face. I'm going to start a new face at the bottom for the foreside, and you'll get to learn some neat life hacks. First of all, I'm going to make a circle in one of the corners and add my measurements. Now, to make the 3 other dots, I have options. I could just make 3 more circles and do the measurements again. I can mirror all of the dots, or I could do a linear pattern, then mirror that. Let's do a pattern. Click on the linear pattern tool, which is the one with the 4 squares. I want to pattern the circle, so I'm going to click on the circle. Right now, we're seeing what the pattern will look like. These circles won't be on the cube until we click to approve it. For now, enter what the center distance will be. Center distance is the distance between the 2 centers. I'm going to keep it as 1 inch, but I will change how many circles there will be. I only want 2 circles, so in this 3 spot, I'm going to just replace that with the 2. Now we're going to mirror this, so it's on the other side. To mirror something, we need a construction line, which is like a normal line, but it won't show up when you extrude or anything like that with the sketch. Select the line tool, then select the construction tool. Make a line at the middle of the square touching the 2 sides. And not only lines can be in construction, other shapes can also be in construction. Now we can pick the mirror tool, which is left to the linear pattern tool. Pick the line we just made and then the 2 circles. Mirror, ooh. Now I'm going to make another extrude for a new side, except this time I'm going to use remove, which guess what? Removes. You basically have all of the same options, it's just that instead of making something new, you're taking something away. I'm just going to do blind and enter in 0.1 inches for the depth. You can put in a decimal or fraction, by the way. And yes, you can fillet the holes, but I won't show that now since it's the same process and it's just repetitive. Another mode apart from new and remove is add. This basically does the same thing as new by creating something, but in the navigation on the side, your addition will still be included in part 1 instead of becoming a new part 2. Like when we made our original cube, it made it into the new part 1. But if I were to add on to it, it would still be part 1. For the rest of the sides, you can decide how you want to finish them. Also, even though they weren't used for the cube, here are things you should know. There's the offset, which sounds and looks exactly what it sounds like. You'll make a shape, then you can offset it, so it's a little smaller or a little bigger. Then there's the suppress, which isn't a tool, but it's a way to take away a sketch or extrude without deleting it. And that's the end of the video and of sketching. Join next time for assembling. Woo.